Playing a little farming simulator. And we are going to be working on our timber farm today. Now this is a new save for me. I'm in the Felsbrunn map. And career mode. Let me go ahead and turn the volume down on chat real quick. Alright. Now we do have a few mods going on here. Just a few. Most of the mods are actually used with my collaborative games with Reaper and Jenny. But some of them are actually very useful for my timber operations. Now, I have not really explored this map very much, so I don't know where everything is, but where I am right now is right next to the shop. I bought the 2 lots of land right next door. Been using some accelerated time. I know not everybody likes that, but kind of have to because I'm just doing trees right now. So I'm going to be letting the time swing by for a little bit just to get a couple extra trees up and going. Now I'm going to be using the Scorpion King and the small wood selling station as the primary part of the base. Or my base of operations, I should say. Let's go ahead and start. It's raining. And here's Felsbrunn. Very hilly, mountainous region. A couple pieces of equipment. We have our tree planter. We have the lizard pickup truck. We have our small tractor with the plow in the back. We have the Scorpion King. This is taking a little bit of getting used to. This is an interesting machine that is very nimble, but problematic at times too. So this is our timber strand that we actually planted. Let me go ahead and I'll take you out here and show you a little bit better. So on the map, we are 30 and 31. Now this goes all the way up like this. We're currently over here, and then our small wood station is right there, which is that right there. I'm going to need to take those 2 trees down, this whole row, and as you can see, time is accelerated. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let this run for one more nighttime cycle, and hopefully it will get a few more of these trees a little higher. Now before it gets too dark, we also have our stump grinder on tracks. That thing is super cool, and the grass is growing like crazy because it's the rainy season. But we also bought this field over here, and as you can see, I've already planted saplings. Now you may be wondering how exactly I'm making the money that I am, and I'll show you pretty quickly that you can make a lot of money. But as supplemental income, I also have up at the top of the hill some solar panels. Now the solar panels are mods, and what they do is they generate electricity that's fed back into the grid, and I get paid for it. So even while I'm not working, these are generating a little bit of income. And by a little bit, it's actually kind of substantial once you get to that point. I do need to do some maintenance. So we're going to have to fix a few of the vehicles. What is Damcon PL75? That's Not doing too hot. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go in here, go to garage, see what the damn gun is. Oh, that's the planter. Okay. And it's nighttime. There's the damn gun right there. Alright, and then I hate to say it, I don't know how to schedule maintenance. I guess I have to take it over to the garage. Now we do have a stack of wood ready to go. Ooh, apparently we lost a log way out here. We'll have to grab that shortly. But while this cycles through the nighttime hours, I'm going to go ahead and run this over to the maintenance yard. Boop. Alright. Alright, so we want to repair. Now I wonder if we can actually do that on any of the other vehicles. No, we would actually physically have to have them present. Just to show you there real quick though, these are the Lizard solar panels. They cost $20,000 and they make me $200 an hour at this particular level of play. I have everything set, the economy set on easy, mainly because I'm trying to teach myself how to do the forestry. I don't want to make a huge investment on one of the collaborative games and equipment that I don't need. I've already learned a couple of the pieces are kind of unnecessary, so got to be a little careful with what you buy. Now I think what we're going to do, since this is going to be our base of operations over here, we're going to just continue to work on all of this. Use these guys as just like temporary garages. It is dark outside, so let's turn on some light. See how we're doing on the trees. Those are full grown. Nice. Alright, so we'll let the day roll through. We'll let the sun come up and then we'll start doing some timber action. Now in the meantime, I need to get this up here. So to do that, there's the one we need. Now, the important thing to remember about this particular piece of equipment is don't touch trees or logs with the stump grinder while it's active. It will straight up delete logs. It basically just eats them and they disappear very, very quickly. Let's see if we can use this to push this up this hill. Might be a little difficult. Hey, there we go. Should be enough. Sun's almost up. Another 30 minutes, we'll be good to go. Now we're going to park this in here. Alright, there we go. Got some good sunlight. Let's go ahead and slow down time. And we're going to put that at 5 times so that it does keep rolling. Now this right here is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 3 trees. 3 trees worth. And we go over to this, and then you see on the left hand side, press L3 and sells wood. And we just made $30,000 worth of timber. Each tree is worth about 10 grand at this level. And to show you that, alright, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cycle back through all these and get my camera angles back. There we go. So this is the Scorpion King. This is a rather interesting device. Now, one thing I have learned about this game is there is actually a wood magnet. Whoops. Where as you get closer, watch the head on this thing swing. See how it just swung forward a little bit to get to the timber? It just kind of boops right in there. So on this, what you want to do is you want to get it low. And then you want to go ahead and, I'm holding L1 at the moment. Hold L1, press X. Then you need to back up and get the tree to drop. And then we're going to lift this up a little bit. Spin around. And I have this set up that I can just back straight up to this point. As long as you get the cutter head inside that box, this should all work fairly well. Now I have the cut length set to 6 meters. That is the optimal for this particular map. It's the optimal length. So we're still holding L1, and we're going to press and hold X, and it'll drag through and it'll cut. It delimbs for you and everything. Five pieces of wood and a little chunk. Now just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and get out again, come over here, sell wood, top right corner you'll see the price. $10,027. And away we go. And that, my friends, is why I wanted to get into timber. Because timber can be quite profitable. Now there are multiple feller bunchers in this game. That's what this type of equipment is called. But the Scorpion King seems to be the best. It definitely has the power to grab hold of things. You always want to raise up just a little bit, especially once you've got some on the ground. This will literally push them right off the pad and right out of the sales box. Now this machine is a little quirky. One of the things that it does is if you grab hold too aggressively, and I have my sensitivity set kind of high so that when I move, it moves pretty quickly. Probably a little too quickly, actually. That was me wiggling the wrong thing, because I'm still getting used to the actual controls on this. Inverted controls and the like. But once you press and hold and it says you can cut, it's good. But see how if I move off base, you can't cut anymore? But you can grab it just like that, and then you can just pull right back. Sometimes these trees get caught in each other. And that's when things get really, really interesting. Because this will straight drag your machine straight up a tree. Now you might notice that one I didn't do the best of jobs of stumping. I didn't grab it very, very low. It happens. You gotta be a little conscious of that, because that's profits that I just lost. So when you pull up to the tree, make sure that you get a good angle, like so. R1 for this side, down on the right stick, as far down as you can get. Left L1, cut, grab, pull away. Now when you let go of all the buttons, it still holds onto the tree, so you don't have to worry about that, unless you've got a bad grip. And if you have a bad grip, then it's going to do some pretty weird things with that machine. But you can see this will manipulate a tree fairly well. This is exactly what this machine is designed to do. But they are a little quirky. And when you're fully extended sideways like I am right now, sometimes the weight of the tree is a bit much, and it will pull you over. So what I always try and do is when I return, try and pull back. Now, I've seen a lot of videos, because I did some research on this, but I've seen a lot of videos that show people utilizing the wood chippers. I've personally found that my results have been better selling to the small wood selling station. I tried doing the wood chipper method, and it just did not seem as profitable. Actually, when I looked at the numbers, I was making about half for wood chips. Now, I didn't try and play the market. See, I just shot that tree right off of there because it was stuck on something, and I actually turned off the machine. Now, in the event that it does this, unfortunately, there's not much I've been able to do. You can't really pick them back up with this particular device. So you can do one of two things, and I'll show you what I end up doing every time. I will pull this piece of equipment out of the way. Boop. And I'm going to get out. Now I have a chainsaw on me. Now what you want to do is you want to cut this into about 6 meter long pieces. So look at how far it's sticking out past this one. That's that one right there. So we want to come back to about here. And we'll cut that by hand. And then you kind of got eyeball where it was going to be. Now, you should be able to grab this last piece by hand. I always jump instead of grabbing. Should be able to grab this last piece and just toss it right on there. Now I'm actually going to sell these real quick. Get rid of that. And it should have left us the 3 pieces. So now I'm going to get in my stump grinder. and without turning on the stump grinding portion of the vehicle. It's my lizard T-Rex. I'm going to use this to push, just like I did before. Now, if this doesn't work out for you, you can get out and you can cut all these pieces up and move them by hand. But I found that the T-Rex actually works as a pretty darn decent pusher without putting any type of a blade or hook attachment on it. Just get my stumps out of the way. Now, before you move this back, always remember, turn the dang thing off. Didn't realize how quickly it will actually get rid of one of those trees. I have a lot of equipment. Well, not a lot of equipment, but I have a decent amount of equipment. Make sure you turn this back on. Back up a little bit. Swing into place. Cut and go. Good morning, William. How you doing today, buddy? Alright, I'm going to get rid of this pile of stuff because it just doesn't look all that pretty. Well, it's $12,000 worth of wood. Almost $13,000. Can't argue prices like that. Turn our Scorpion King back on. Now, when you're planting this close together, one of the things you do have to be wary of is the tops of the trees tangling up when you're trying to drop them, and that causes problems as well. After a while you get pretty used to this, and I'm sure a lot of people are a lot better at manipulating the controls than I am. I have a hard time remembering all the different things that I play and which controls do what. Right on, right on. We were just talking about our 7 Days to Die map earlier tonight. That we need to get all that finished up. Ready to go for everybody. Unfortunately, Reaper logged on to do some work on it while it's actually on his save. And apparently he was not paying enough attention, and the zombies had spawned in the base and they got him. So he needs somebody else to log in with him so that he can get his stuff back. Which I thought was kind of funny. What did you end up doing differently? You might notice a little bit of lag in the video here. That's because my trees are probably growing at the moment. They probably just shot up right with the changeover in the hour. Another 29,397 bucks. No, I got you. Built a little ways away from the little base, put a passageway underground. Right on. Yeah, that's always always a good idea. On the new map, I'm actually working on a kill pit that's away from our base that'll have a tunnel to get to it. But I'm going to have to stock it with forges so that it attracts the zombies there. Alright, so apparently I was set to 7 meters for some reason. Hit the wrong button again. Get confuzzled sometimes. This is what happens when I play with insomnia. I think there was another tip out here somewhere. Yeah, there was. Keep pushing the wrong button for interacting things. I'm so used to X being the thing that grabs and interacts that I always want to push it. Alright, now what you can do for stuff like this is if you need to cut smaller pieces, cut them in about 1 meter sections, and you'll be able to pick them up by hand. Now if the piece is too big, it'll tell you right off the bat, piece is too heavy. And you'll have to cut it some more. But everything does need to be inside the warning box. It would help if it would grab thing. Hello? Oh, object too heavy. See? Shows you how much I was paying attention. Now the mechanics for this are actually fairly functional, but I find them annoying at times. There's a lot of repetitive motions and changes from one action to another, where one thing is the action button, whereas this it's not. So it leads to a lot of button confusion on my part. Now that's probably just me, because, you know, old and dumb. But I try. Now when you're out and about in the rest of the world, there are natural trees around. These are all planted trees that are in this section. But I'll show you some of the natural ones, because there's a whole bunch of them right across the street. Let's sell the wood there. Gotcha, you want to make it so your base and the horde box are in the same location. Makes sense. Alright, so natural trees like this tend not to be straight, although these are fairly straight, and I could probably get the feller buncher to grab that, especially those spruce trees in the back, but there are other trees around that are not nearly as straight and narrow. And when you clean up with a lot of those, what I ended up doing was hand cutting a lot of them, and I figured out pretty quickly that the best way to do that, or the best way to make it profitable, I should say, was to just push the entire tree to the cutting station, or to the selling station, and then cut it on site. Otherwise, you're sitting there trying to bring things back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Pain in the butt. Like I said, this machine is pretty powerful. But it does have its limitations. So, you gotta be a little careful not to push it too far. Unfortunately, I think I've gone a bit beyond where I wanted to be. I'm just thinking of shooting this one over past where I needed it to be. I'm gonna try and push this back. There we go. And there's that thing that I said where if you don't pay attention, you'll push your material right out of the box. Now again, I want to clean all this up, see what I missed. Or if it grabbed all of them. It actually did grab all of them. $9,985 for that one piece of timber. Not bad. Not too shabs. See, still getting used to the controls on this thing. Lights are god-awful bright, even in the daytime. Like I said, I've been working out the kinks on how to do this, what the best way to do it is, and what works the best for me. Camera angle and positioning are problematic for me. Sometimes when you're down on the base it won't cut. It's too thick down low. There you go, hit the building. It always surprises me what things in this game are static and what are not. Like every part of this building is strong enough to flip over this machine if I jam one of these against it, but I went to go pick up the lawnmower with the forklift, and the roll bar was not even there. I mean, you could see it in the game, but when I tried to put the fork through it to pick it up by those, it didn't exist for that purpose. A little disappointed. Sometimes that wood magnet works a little too well. But other times, it just jumps right out. Finicky and persnickety. And of course you get tire drag like that. Finally found a game that Jenny's not good at building on. That would be this. Making a mess of this wood pile. Let's go ahead and sell off all this. See what gets left behind. Object too heavy. Of course it is. Happy jump. This right here is one of the most finicky machines in the game as to whether or not the levels are high enough or if it's touching its target. We are up over a mil. Nice. Now, while we are right here, oh, I totally forgot those two. Let's go get those two stumps. So that's oats. I do like this machine. Now, the further and further I get from this, the more annoying it gets because the distance, I mean, I know it's not all that, but what I'm probably going to do is, since I have other trees growing on the other side, I think I'm going to put another wood purchasing station up on this top corner up here between these two pieces. so that I can utilize that, because these trees are actually ready to come down too. So, oops, saving content. Wasn't even the right button. So with the mods, there's a couple things. I need to buy that vehicle workshop. Now this is the Gens HE700 STA, which is the chipper shredder that a lot of people will dump the wood into because it sells automatically. Excuse me. But sorry, that was the wrong button. Like I said, I've found that it's just not it's not that profitable. Now, one of the other cool things, like here's the solar panels. We have a wind turbine that we can do, solar array, a bunch of different stuff, and then the barns, and then the small wood selling station. That mod right there. You could also sell wood chips at the small wood chip selling station if you want to make them with a portable unit that will just shoot them right out. And you can stack them up and go about your business that way. But I just sell the logs. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put one up this way, up yonder, one might even say. Rotate that around. Can't believe it won't put one in between here. It's giving me the caution. Okay. So I guess I don't have that as an option. What this has to do is it has to terraform up to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and lower some of this. Smooth out an area. This right here is what was getting Jenny in trouble on the last map. He was messing around with this exact tool. Alright, so now that I've done that, let's go back to our building and see if we can put one in now. Sure enough. There we go. Alright, so now what I want to do is I kind of want to smooth out that edge there. And go to landscaping again. Now with the smooth tool, what you have to do is you have to just kind of work it in there and let it do its thing. If you move it away too soon, it doesn't have the desired effect. It'll basically just pull everything elastically. Let's move off to the side here to show you. See how everything just kind of raises up together? Just gotta give it time. Let it work its magic. Now this is also not free. This is costing me a little bit of scratch here. So I do need to be conscious of that. And I don't own that land, so we're going to be good on that. Let that go there. Now what I'm going to do, you know, I was thinking about putting the machine shop down here. Excuse me. But then I realized that it's right there. That's the machine shop. Quite literally. Now we've got $1 million. What I've been a little fascinated with is baling technology. So I'm thinking I should probably purchase another piece of land. That one's 400K. Before we do that, let's take a ride in the Lizard. A throaty pickup truck. Because I don't actually have a harvester. But that's barley. Alright, so we're going to buy that. Yes, there we go. Alright, so that's now ours. So we have all of these trees are ours. So now I can actually show you how the feather buncher handles those, but first I want to drive around the lake Azores as well. Alright, so that's a pretty decent field. What I was looking at is whether or not it will continue over here. I definitely don't want potatoes. Definitely don't want potatoes. So that side can be extended. These can actually be conjoined. So just ever so slightly offset from one another. Strange. But feasible. Alright, so what that means is I'm going to want to put the barn probably right here. So let's go ahead and check that out. So the barn is also under miscellaneous. There they are. Alright, now this, it takes you to the last place you built, so you hit the square button. Now I'm going to want this piece. Right there will do. Alright, I want to level that out, but I don't want to lose those trees to leveling things out, because I need this ramp to be a bit smoother. Now this will be for selling straw, hay, and grass, which I will get into very soon. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the Scorpion King. See, this tree type is not supported. That's fine. Sometimes they just don't want to fall. So you cut them at an angle and they chop you right in the face. There we go. Whack. Alright, so a couple things we could do here is I could cut this all up and put it into the pickup. Or get the T-Rex. Just to show you guys what this does to trees. Excuse me. Boop. Gone. Told you that thing's brutal. I wish I'd known about that sooner, because on the cooperative save with Reaper, I've been doing a lot of timber work there, and did a lot of picking up crap by hand that I could have just gotten rid of. Sometimes it's hard to see the little ring that pops up. Basically what I was doing on that other save was cutting pieces up like this, filling up the pickup with a bunch of them, and then driving the pickup over to the sale spot. But I also had a trailer attached to the pickup, so I would fill them both. And there were so many trees. The original map, I had purchased Farm 19, which is that back area by the starter area, and just so many trees that were such odd shapes and sizes. Just a pain in the butt to deal with. And it's like this, I don't even really need to be doing this. I really just run all this stuff over with the chipper, the mobile stump grinder, which was another thing that I had done on the other save, is I had purchased the stump grinder that attaches to the tractors. Which, I mean, it's effective. It's just much more time consuming. You have to be much more careful to find your target. It's a little bit more problematic. I love the sound of this truck. And of course she fell out of the back. Why wouldn't you? I do love how it just makes them go bye-bye. Now, the rumor is if you just run straight into a tree, it will straight up delete it for you. Oh, it left a stump for me though. That's inconsiderate. Sometimes you're actually too low. Alright, so we've gotten rid of most of those. Let's park over next to the Fiat. We do need to be closer over here. Alright, so now what we needed to do was go back into landscaping. to change the radius. And what we want to do is smooth that. And like I said, you just need to let it work its magic. It'll smooth out those transitions for you. That is a beautiful thing. Now I do have to check the back just a little bit, because trucks will be coming in and out both sides. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Excellent. Ooh, I'm not happy with that. What's up with that part? Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what happened with that? Alright, so first off we need to raise. Alright, now what we need to do is increase that, smooth that back out, staying far enough away that it doesn't deform too badly. Better. Alright, now what I wanted to do, whoops, let's back the lizard up. Instead of flipping between everybody, let's just go jump right in. Just curious what we got for 2-meter sections on that particular tree. $822. That's in 2-meter long sections. So, get back. Sorry, Big Papa Timo is a little scatterbrained. Forgot I had something cooking. Apologies. Try 4-meter long pieces. When I can do it correctly, I do love this tool. This machine is pretty nifty. $4,491 for a tree. All right, now what I do want to do, since I've been on this kick, I actually want to smooth these sections here. So it's not so harsh getting up in and out of there. Again, just give it a moment to work its magic. You move it out from where you wanted to start. Nicer. Gooder. This is still a little harsh right here, but we can smooth that out later. Alright, so we have our wood station up there, our wood station down here, our hay loft, or our barn over there for selling straw hay and grass. We do have a couple stumps we need to grind. Alright, so that is, in a nutshell, my timber operation. What do you think? Drop me some comments. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see me try. I'm more than happy to give it a go. Till next time, guys. Take care.